In the heart of ancient Rome, during a time when shadows clung to the cobblestone streets like whispers of the past, there lived a notorious assassin whose very name sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to speak it. Nocturnus, the silent blade. Nocturnus was a phantom, a specter draped in a cloak of darkness that seemed to absorb the moonlight itself. His eyes, as cold as the marble statues that adorned the city, betrayed no emotion. His movements were as silent as the grave, and his reputation was built on the gruesome efficiency with which he dispatched his victims. Rumors of Nocturnus spread like wildfire through the city, whispered in hushed tones within the crowded marketplaces and behind closed doors of wealthy estates. It was said that he could slip through the tightest security, leaving no trace of his passage except for the lifeless bodies he left in his wake. The people lived in fear, never knowing when the silent blade might strike next. One fateful night, as a blood-red moon hung low in the sky, Nocturnus received a cryptic message. The note, sealed with a deep crimson wax, bore the insignia of a powerful senator. The message within spoke of a rival, plotting to expose the senator's darkest secrets, secrets that could bring about his political downfall. Nocturnus was contracted to silence the rival permanently. The senator's adversary was a cunning man named Lucius Aventius, a charismatic orator with ambitions that threatened to unravel the carefully woven tapestry of the senator's life. Nocturnus accepted the contract without hesitation, the promise of a hefty purse driving him to accept the deadly task. As Nocturnus delved into the shadows that concealed Lucius Aventius, he discovered a labyrinth of secrets that twisted through the underbelly of Rome. Aventius was not just a political adversary, he was a master manipulator, weaving webs of deceit that ensnared the city's elite. Nocturnus felt the weight of the darkness closing in around him as he moved through the maze of intrigue. The night of the assassination arrived, and the air hung heavy with anticipation. Nocturnus, concealed in the folds of his obsidian cloak, slipped into Aventius's opulent villa like a wraith. The mansion echoed with the distant murmurs of revelry. Oblivious to the impending doom that loomed in the shadows, Nocturnus navigated the labyrinthine corridors with uncanny precision, his senses honed by years of silent stalking. As he approached Aventius's private chamber, he could hear the soft cadence of the man's voice, confident and arrogant. The senator was entertaining guests, providing the perfect cover for the silent blade's approach. The door creaked open, revealing a scene bathed in the flickering glow of candles. Aventius, surrounded by sycophantic nobles, stood at the center of the room, his charisma shielded against the impending darkness. Nocturnus moved with the fluidity of a serpent, his blade glinting in the dim light. As the clock struck midnight, Nocturnus struck. His blade danced through the air like a macabre ballet, finding its mark in the heart of Lucius Aventius. The room fell silent as the life drained from the charismatic orator, the flickering candles casting elongated shadows that seemed to mourn his demise. Nocturnus vanished into the night, leaving the lifeless body as his calling card. The senator's secrets remained buried in the darkness, but the city of Rome was left to grapple with the chilling realization that even the most powerful were not immune to the silent blade's deadly dance. The legend of Nocturnus lived on, a cautionary tale whispered in the corners of the city, a tale of an assassin whose darkness matched the shadows of Rome itself. Weeks passed, and the death of Lucius Aventius sent ripples through the political landscape of Rome. Whispers in the Senate grew louder, and the air was thick with tension as the remaining senators wondered who would be the next target of the elusive assassin, Nocturnus. As fear gripped the hearts of the elite, a new contract found its way to the silent blade. This time, the target was no ordinary citizen, but a high-ranking military general, Gaius Octavius. Known for his strategic brilliance and unwavering loyalty to the emperor, the person behind the contract remained anonymous, shrouded in mystery like the cloak that veiled Nocturnus. Intrigued by the challenge, Nocturnus delved into the intricate web of military alliances and political conspiracies that surrounded General Octavius. The more he unearthed, the more entangled the threads became. It seemed that the general's prowess on the battlefield had earned him as many enemies as allies. One moonless night, Nocturnus approached the heavily guarded military encampment, where General Octavius lay in restless slumber. The camp was alive with the sounds of soldiers sharpening their weapons and the distant neighing of restless horses. Undeterred, Nocturnus moved like a phantom through the shadows, evading the watchful eyes of the sentinels. Upon reaching the heart of the encampment, Nocturnus discovered a tent adorned with the general's standard. Peering through the flap, he observed General Octavius, a formidable figure with a mane of grizzled hair and a face etched with the scars of countless battles. The general slept soundly, unaware that the silent blade hovered at the edge of his dreams. Just as Nocturnus prepared to strike, a sudden gust of wind rustled the tent's fabric. The general stirred, his eyes flickering open. Nocturnus froze, hidden in the shadows. As the general scanned the darkness, both a soldier's instinct. For a moment, it seemed as though the silent blade's cover would be blown, but with a sigh, General Octavius dismissed the disturbance as a trick of the wind. Nocturnus seized the opportunity. Slipping through the tent like a wraith, his blade descended with lethal grace, and in an instant, the mighty general was silenced forever. Nocturnus disappeared into the night, leaving the military encampment in disarray, haunted by the specter of an assassin who could strike with impunity, even in the heart of their defenses. The death of General Octavius sent shockwaves through the Roman Empire. The emperor, unnerved by the audacity of the silent blade, issued a proclamation promising a substantial reward for any information leading to the capture of the elusive assassin. But Nocturnus remained elusive, his identity known to none. As the city of Rome sank deeper into paranoia, the legend of Nocturnus grew. Tales of his exploits became the stuff of both nightmares and intrigue. Some saw him as a dark avenger, a force cleansing the city of corruption. Others feared him as a harbinger of doom, a shadowy figure who could strike at the heart of power. And so the legacy of Nocturnus endured, casting a perpetual shadow over the grandeur of Rome. The streets whispered his name, and with each passing night, the city held its breath, wondering whose fate the silent blade would seal next. The tale of Nocturnus, the phantom assassin of Rome, became etched into the annals of history, a chilling reminder that even the mightiest could fall to the embrace of darkness.